Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's Voice to the World. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lays wreath at Yad Vashem Holocaust Museum in Jerusalem, observes a moment of silence, also signs visitor's book. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to hold bilateral talks with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Tel Aviv, defense and security partnership and issues of mutual interests on agenda. US-Iran to resume another round of talks in Geneva today. Iran's President Pezeshkian says Tehran's not seeking nuclear weapons. On the concluding day of his two-day state visit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Yad Vashem, Israel's official Holocaust memorial, accompanied by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Yad Vashem Chairman Dani Dayan. The leaders toured the book of names documenting 4.8 million Jewish victims and participated in a memorial ceremony at the Hall of Remembrance. Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid a wreath, observed a moment of silence and signed the guest book. This marks PM Modi's second Yad Vashem visit, underscoring India-Israel solidarity against hatred. The tribute preceded delegation-level talks, MOU exchanges and meetings with President Isaac Herzog. PM Modi also planted a sapling in the grove of the righteous among the nations, symbolizing hope, remembrance, and enduring India-Israel friendship against hatred. On the second and last day of Israel visit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be holding a delegation-level talks with his Israeli counterpart, Benjamin Netanyahu. Both the leaders are expected to discuss ways to further strengthening cooperation across various domains, including science and technology, innovation, agriculture, water management, technology, defense and security, trade and investment, as well as people-to-people ties. The leaders will also exchange views on the regional and global issues of mutual interest. India and Israel are strategic partners. The expansion of defense and security partnership is in focus during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Israel. DD India correspondent Shubhendu Ghosh brings us more.
On day 2 of his official visit to Israel, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will hold bilateral talks with his Israeli counterpart, PM Benjamin Netanyahu. India-Israel defense cooperation remains one of the most robust and strategically vital bilateral partnerships, evolving from arms imports to joint development, co-production and technology sharing. It is driven by shared security concerns, including terrorism. Following the Gaza conflict, Israel is actively executing strategic pivot to Asia to diversify its economic, tech and defense partnerships. Between 2020 and 2024, Israel supplied 13% of India's total arms imports, while India accounted for 34% of Israel's defense exports. An MOU was inked in 2025 to enable sharing of advanced tech and promote co-development and co-production of defense equipments. Israel's expertise in air defense could be an important addition to India's arsenal.
I see India and Israel defense ties as a capability partnership shared by together regional environment. India faces persistent security pressures, but it also had managed escalation risks. That is why it invests in tools that create decision time and operational flexibility. Air defense, ISR, drones, counter-drones, precision, and cyber. The Israeli advantage is not only equipment, but the ability to integrate systems and learn quickly under pressure.
As India expands its defense infrastructure and indigenous manufacturing capability, Israel continues to be an important partner, especially with its expertise in tech and innovation. Prime Minister Modi's visit to Israel is expected to achieve a new breakthrough in security cooperation. With camera person Anand Kumar, Shubhendu Ghosh for DD India, Jerusalem.
All right, and joining me on the broadcast is Major General Dhruv Katoj. Sir, a very warm welcome to the broadcast. This indeed is a very significant visit by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Israel. Can you just tell us about the significance of this visit as far as the defense front is concerned?
You know, it is significant on many aspects, but before I get to the defense,
Yeah.
seeing the geopolitical situation in the world today,
Right.
Seeing the disturbances which are taking place right from the Russia-Ukraine war and then what is happening in the Gulf right now. I think this visit now, it comes at such a time by which the eyes of the whole world will be on this. They will be looking at Prime Minister Modi visiting Israel and meeting with Netanyahu. Perhaps everybody is thinking that because of this visit, something, there could be some sort of a peace accord may come about, or at least the hostility levels may reduce. That is one aspect of it. On the defense aspect, I think it's going to be very significant for India especially. When we are talking of upper-end defense technology,
Right.
For a very long time, we have been purchasing systems from Israel. When we look at the UAVs like the Heron, or we look at loitering munitions, or we even look at the air-to-ground missiles, which we have fitted onto our fourth-generation fighter aircraft. Now, a large portion of that has come from Israel. I think there's going to be a step up now. It is going to be, we'll be looking into joint manufactures, right? And India being the bigger power, I think that will also, when we do this jointly, it will also assist Israel. This relationship, I think, is not going to be a one-sided relationship. It is going to be, we also have the technological expertise, the capabilities. When we're looking at space and cyber, while Israel has tremendous cyber capabilities, India's capabilities are also immense. So we can share on those capabilities. And the last aspect on defense, which I think, which is very important for both, is in terms of counterterrorism.
Right.
We have similar challenges. Their threats are different and our threats are different, but countering those threats, the procedures are the same. And I think the best practices can be shared by both countries. Intelligence can be shared by both countries. It has already been done. It is not something which is new. It's already being done. But I think a further boost can be given to that so that we can bring peace to our borders and they can bring peace to theirs.
Definitely. Not just on the defense front, but overall, when we look at the relationship between India and Israel, this visit is very, very significant because it will give an impetus, to the relationship between both the countries, not just in the defense sector, but in every sector as well. What are your views on this?
I have always believed that the India-Israel relationship is much more than simply deals, whether it is in, terms of...
it goes beyond diplomacy.
It goes beyond. It is the human element. Now, I just want to give you a small thing. When the 67 Arab-Israel war took place,
Right.
the very first time, I was a small kid that time.
Right.
That time, of course, the policy of the government of India was different, and it was tilted towards the Arab world. I'm not talking about the merits or demerits of that. I'm just talking about what the reality was.
Okay.
But at that point of time, if you see the newspapers and you see the public comments, the public opinion was very firmly in favor of Israel. Right from that time. And this public opinion, the people-to-people connect between India and Israel has been maintained ever since 1948. There is some sort of a thing, they've been through a very rough time. When they went through the Holocaust, 4.8 million people died. And from there, from 48 onwards, they had a challenge in building their country. The very first war took place in 1948 itself. And then they have been into a series of conflicts. and they have fought and survived. I think India likes that. We've also been through many challenges.
Right.
We faced of a different nature, obviously, but we faced tremendous challenges right from the partition, then going on to 62, then going into the 65 war with Pakistan, and then for the last 3 to 4 decades, the terrorism which we have faced. So we have these challenges, they have their challenges, and I think both of us have overcome our challenges to a very large extent. We have grown. We are today the 4th largest economy, the fastest growing large economy, the most, in a sense, a civilizational power which is trusted. And Israel has got its own strengths. So we have tremendous convergences. Our strategic interests converge. I don't see any divergence at all in our relationship. And the people-to-people connect, I think, is the strongest. That is our strength. The rest, everything, the prime ministers, they're very, very friendly to each other. That gives a boost to the relationship. There will be a lot of technical, agreements that are going to come about, and some will not be mentioned. There will be certain defense agreements which will be kept confidential. But there'll be quite a few things which will come out, and I think it's going to be beneficial to both the countries. And it is my view that perhaps this will also be a boost for peace in West Asia.
Definitely, and also the kind of love that Prime Minister Narendra Modi received in Israel, the way he was welcomed and received love from the diaspora population as well, speaks a lot about the popularity of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And also, he's now in the 100 million club when it comes to his Instagram followers.
Actually, we were hearing that news yesterday. I think it's a very significant achievement if you can overtake President Trump on the Insta.
I mean, it's double the size of what the followers of US President.
The way President Trump really goes after a following, and Prime Minister Modi doesn't. You see, he doesn't go after a following. The following comes to him. So I think that's been a very significant achievement. Popularity level scales. But, it's if you ask, I have met people in the United States who have come here. And the thing is, you speak to a taxi driver and somebody goes there and they say, where are you from? He said, from India. And they will say, okay, you're from Narendra Modi's country. That level of the outreach of the Prime Minister to practically all parts of the world, I think that has been tremendous. I think there is no country in the world which won't know who the Prime Minister of India is. That itself is a significant achievement.
Definitely. With this, thank you so much for joining in on DD India Live. Thank you. In a landmark diplomatic moment, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed Israel's parliament, the Knesset, in Jerusalem, becoming the first Indian Prime Minister to do so. He received a standing ovation from lawmakers, expressed solidarity with Israel over the October 7 terror attack, and was conferred the Speaker of the Knesset Medal, the highest parliamentary honor. Here's a report.
In a historic moment, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday addressed Israel's parliament during his 2-day state visit, becoming the first Indian Prime Minister to do so. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Knesset Speaker Amir Ohana welcomed him with full ceremonial honors. The Prime Minister received a rousing reception, loud applause and a standing ovation. In his address, Prime Minister Narendra Modi condoled the victims of the October 7, 2023 Hamas attack.
I also carry with me the deepest condolences of the people of India for every life lost and for every family whose world was shattered in the barbaric terrorist attack by Hamas on October 7. We feel your pain. We share your grief. India stands with Israel firmly, with full conviction in this moment and beyond.
All right, let's take you across to Israel now, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is.
India is an essential part of the great future of the Middle East. And the Middle East is an essential part of the great future of India. I saw your record number of growth, your economic growth is something that is attracting the whole world. It's fantastic. And I wanted to suggest in practicality that we see the young Indian people all over the world with their brains and innovation. We see them in universities and colleges and research centers, of course, in India. And I think that with the various changes in the geostrategic situation, including in the possibility of learning in higher institutions around the world, Indian universities and Israeli universities have a golden opportunity of sharing know-how together for the future of our young generations. And I encourage your brilliant young Indian students to come to study in Israel, and I encourage the Israeli brilliant students to study in India. And I believe, in conclusion, that the fact that this connectivity between Israel and India can change the entire geostrategic situation towards the advantages of the global south and the connectivity between even the United States to Southeast Asia through the Eastern Hemisphere. So, we know you lead the world in so many fields, and we are very moved and excited that you're here with us. Toda rabba.
थैंक यू एक्सेलेंसी। राष्ट्रपति जी, आपने जिस उम्दा शब्दों से हम सबका स्वागत किया है, इसके लिए मैं आपका बहुत बहुत आभारी हूं। और मैं देख रहा हूं कि कल से जिस प्रकार से मेरा और मेरे डेलीगेशन का इजराइल में स्वागत सम्मान हुआ है, वो भारत के प्रति, भारतीयों के प्रति इजराइल के दिलों में जो गहरा लगाव है उसका प्रतिबिंब है, और इसके लिए मैं बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। एक्सेलेंसी, आपने सही कहा कि भारत और इजराइल का संबंध अनेक क्षेत्रों में बड़ी मजबूती के साथ ग्लोबल गुड के लिए काम आ सकता है। साइंस हो, इनोवेशन हो, एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस हो, और कुछ चीज़ों में तो अपनी बहुत बड़ी महारत है, खास करके पानी के संबंध में, एग्रीकल्चर के संबंध में। और भारत इजराइल की बहुत सी अच्छी चीज़ों को आज भी भारत में, खास करके एग्रीकल्चर में लागू करने का प्रयास करता है, और उसके अच्छे परिणाम भी निकल रहे हैं। राष्ट्रपति जी, मेरी खुशी है कि मुझे इसके पहले भी आपको अलग अलग जगह पे मिलने का मौका मिला है। मैंने आपको विचारों की स्पष्टता सुनी है, भारत के प्रति आपका मान सम्मान का भाव देखा है, और इसके लिए मैं भी आपका बहुत आभारी हूं। और राष्ट्रपति जी, आज मुझे मौका है, जब मैं आपके पास आया हूं, भारत के लोग आपका स्वागत करने के लिए बहुत उत्सुक हैं, और इसलिए मैं विशेष रूप से आपको भारत आने का निमंत्रण देता हूं। और मैं आपसे आग्रह करूंगा कि सिर्फ दिल्ली आकर के मत जाना, कुछ समय ज़्यादा निकालना, ताकि भारत के अन्य कुछ स्थानों को भी, वहाँ के लोगों को भी आपका स्वागत करने का अवसर मिले।
Prime Minister Modi, your visit to Israel is exciting the Israeli people with your friendship, with your honesty and frankness, and with the expression of compassion and alliance with Israel and its story. I believe that India is an essential part of the great future of the Middle East. And the Middle East is an essential part of the great future of India. I saw your record number of growth, your economic growth is something that is attracting the whole world. It's fantastic. And I wanted to suggest in practicality that we see the young Indian people all over the world with their brains and innovation. We see them in universities and colleges and research centers, of course, in India. And I think that with the various changes in the geostrategic situation, including in the possibility of learning in higher institutions around the world. Indian universities and Israeli universities have a golden opportunity of sharing know-how together for the future of our young generations. And I encourage your brilliant young Indian students to come to study in Israel, and I encourage the Israeli brilliant students to study in India. And I believe, in conclusion, that the fact that this connectivity between Israel and India can change the entire geostrategic situation towards the advantages of the global South and the connectivity between even the United States to Southeast Asia through the Eastern Hemisphere. So, you know, we know you lead the world in so many fields, and we are very moved and excited that you're here with us. Toda rabba.
थैंक यू एक्सेलेंसी। राष्ट्रपति जी, आपने जिस उम्दा शब्दों से हम सबका स्वागत किया है, इसके लिए मैं आपका बहुत बहुत आभारी हूं। और मैं देख रहा हूं कि कल से जिस प्रकार से मेरा और मेरे डेलीगेशन का इजराइल में स्वागत सम्मान हुआ है, वो भारत के प्रति, भारतीयों के प्रति इजराइल के दिलों में जो गहरा लगाव है उसका प्रतिबिंब है, और इसके लिए मैं बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। एक्सेलेंसी, आपने सही कहा कि भारत और इजराइल का संबंध अनेक क्षेत्रों में बड़ी मजबूती के साथ ग्लोबल गुड के लिए काम आ सकता है। साइंस हो, इनोवेशन हो, एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस हो, और कुछ चीज़ों में तो आपने बहुत बड़ी महारत है, खास करके पानी के संबंध में, एग्रीकल्चर के संबंध में। और भारत इजराइल की बहुत सी अच्छी चीज़ों को आज भी भारत में, खास करके एग्रीकल्चर में लागू करने का प्रयास करता है, और उसके अच्छे परिणाम भी निकल रहे हैं। राष्ट्रपति जी, मेरी खुशी है कि मुझे इसके पहले भी आपको अलग अलग जगह पे मिलने का मौका मिला है। मैंने आपको विचारों की स्पष्टता सुनी है, भारत के प्रति आपका मान सम्मान का भाव देखा है, और इसके लिए मैं भी आपका बहुत आभारी हूं। और राष्ट्रपति जी, आज मुझे मौका है, जब मैं आपके पास आया हूं, भारत के लोग आपका स्वागत करने के लिए बहुत उत्सुक हैं, और इसलिए मैं विशेष रूप से आपको भारत आने का निमंत्रण देता हूं। और मैं आपसे आग्रह करूंगा कि सिर्फ दिल्ली आकर के मत जाना, कुछ समय ज़्यादा निकालना, ताकि भारत के अन्य कुछ स्थानों को भी, वहाँ के लोगों को भी आपका स्वागत।
That's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.